This is 3 virtues that can make you a victim of a narcissist and suffer until you die. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a toxic relationship, questioning how you ended up there? The feelings of shame and self-blame may have consumed you, making you believe that you should have known better. Perhaps you find yourself repeatedly involved in abusive relationships, wondering why you keep attracting the wrong kind of people. If you have experienced or are currently in a relationship with a pathological narcissist or any toxic individual, it's important to understand that there is no reason to feel ashamed. It has nothing to do with your intelligence or lack thereof. These relationships can make you feel like you're going crazy, but rest assured, you are not crazy. Manipulative predators possess a keen sense for identifying the vulnerable, seeking out specific personality traits that most often are considered as strengths. Today, I will shed light on 3 common characteristics and how these toxic relationships operate. Hello everyone. Welcome to this channel where I address your questions on topics ranging from psychology and relationships to mental health. If you find value in this program, please show your support by liking and subscribing to my channel. Toxic relationships often start with an intense flame. Some may even describe it as love at first sight due to the overwhelming chemistry. This person appears to adore you, showering you with flattery, attention, empathy, and understanding. It almost feels like you've found your perfect match. This intense phase propels the relationship forward rapidly through a process known as love bombing, flooding your neurohormone system with dopamine, oxytocin, and endogenous opioids. Before you even realize it, you become emotionally hooked. If this sounds reminiscent of addiction, it's because, in a way, it is. Just like 2 Lego pieces fitting seamlessly, you believe you've found your soulmate, often expressing to your friends that this person is ideal for you. However, as time goes on, this initial phase fades away. Compliments are replaced with criticism, and bad days result in blaming you for their unhappiness. Attempts to control you and a lack of respect for your thoughts, feelings, and needs become apparent. There may even be instances of anger, breaking things, or violence. This disorienting behavior leaves you feeling scared and bewildered, prompting you to conform to their demands in order to maintain peace. Gradually, you find yourself walking on eggshells, unaware of the increasing anxiety and depression that plague you. Your main focus becomes finding ways to restore the relationship to its former glory, constantly analyzing how you can make things better. You become overly cautious, desperately seeking ways to soothe your restless mind. But remember, you are not alone, and there is hope for a way out. Stay tuned for further insights and solutions on this channel. The confusion intensifies as the toxicity is not constant. There are good days and moments of fun. When your toxic partner senses your withdrawal, they often assume the role of the victim. They may cry, recount their own history of abuse, or utter words that tug at your heartstrings. Apologies and promises flood in, coupled with reassurances of improvement and vows that it will never happen again. The love bombing commences once more, with passionate and intense moments in the bedroom. It's during these blissful interludes that you convince yourself this is reality, that this is the lasting truth. Hope dominates your thoughts, solidifying the bond. It's as if there are 2 personas coexisting within your partner, the good and the bad. You convince yourself that the good is their true nature, and that their ugly behavior will cease as you aid in their healing. However, this transformation never materializes because you do not possess that kind of power. Although often labeled as love, this is, in fact, a trauma bond. The scenario described paints the picture of a typical abusive relationship. Whether physical violence is present or not, emotional abuse is still abuse. But it can be even more perplexing to navigate, as it's easier to recognize the wrongness of a fist hurtling toward your face compared to other forms of verbal mistreatment, which we tend to downplay. Close relationships with pathological individuals invariably have a detrimental impact on the emotional well-being of normal individuals. Yet, escaping the clutches of a manipulative and abusive person can prove incredibly challenging, even when it's evident to the outside world that this relationship is causing harm. This is the power and nature of the trauma bond, firmly established through an addictive cycle of reward, punishment, and further reward. In an upcoming video, I will delve deeper into the mechanisms behind this complex dynamic. To summarize, the manipulative, abusive partner often displays a charming facade to the outside world. They exhibit erratic emotions, shifting blame onto you for their volatile mood swings. They isolate you from your loved ones, make empty promises, and engage in gaslighting, distorting your perception to convince you that you are always wrong. You may find yourself creating excuses or minimizing their behavior in response. Anxiety, depression, and self-blame become prevalent. To cope, some turn to substances like alcohol to alter their mood, as a perpetual state of distress plagues them. Gradually, you may grow desensitized to the emotional or physical abuse, normalizing it in the process. Constantly walking on eggshells, you tiptoe cautiously, desperate not to upset them, while simultaneously deceiving your loved ones about the true nature of your relationship. Through my research, I have discovered that there are 3 distinct personality traits that, although virtuous in other aspects of your life, render you susceptible to the manipulation of a pathological individual. The first of these traits is a heightened level of empathy. Naturally compassionate and kind, you possess the unique ability to forge deep connections with others. It's second nature for you to understand and feel others' emotions genuinely. People often turn to you for support, as you make an exceptional friend. However, your vulnerability lies in the fact that toxic manipulators can identify this trait within you and exploit it. They instinctively tap into your wellspring of empathy, compelling you to prioritize their needs over your own and overlook the harm their behavior inflicts upon you. They play on your natural inclination to soothe their pain, change their problematic ways, or temper their anger. As a natural helper, you respond with compassion and kindness, unknowingly falling into their captivating grasp. The second influential quality that renders you vulnerable is optimism. Your tendency to seek the silver lining, focus on the positive aspects, and believe in people's potential sets you apart. When it comes to your toxic partner, you tend to highlight and dwell on their favorable traits, as there are undoubtedly many positive qualities that initially attracted you to them. However, it's crucial to recognize that these positive attributes do not negate the detrimental aspects or erase the harm they are causing you. In this case, your inherent optimism distorts reality. Hope, when detached from the truth, can be your adversary. Lastly, your unwavering perseverance exposes you to vulnerability. As a hard-working individual, you possess an unyielding spirit and steadfast commitment to your endeavors. Quitting is not in your nature. You are determined to follow through on your commitments and promises. This resilience proves invaluable in many areas of your life as you set goals and diligently strive to accomplish them. You do not shy away from challenges. Your strength of character shines through. However, in the context of a toxic relationship, this steadfastness serves only to refine your ability to endure suffering, ultimately leading to the ruin of your own life. Sometimes, the greatest strength lies in letting go, and recognizing when to disengage is a testament to wisdom and self-preservation. Each of us comprehends the world through our own subjective lens. When we possess honesty, loyalty, and trustworthiness, we naively assume that others possess the same attributes. We navigate life with empathy and sincerity, not realizing that some individuals approach relationships with a completely different agenda, one fueled by manipulation and exploitation. It is commonly believed that individuals who find themselves in toxic, abusive relationships as adults may have grown up in families where abuse was prevalent. While this may hold true in some cases, it is not an absolute. Those who have experienced abuse within their families may view cruelty as a normalized aspect of love, failing to recognize its aberration when it occurs. They may even have an unconscious attraction to it, as they hope to finally be loved when they believe they can get things right in this new relationship. Their upbringing has established a mental template where they believe their own behavior provokes abusive actions from others, a belief that a toxic partner readily exploits. In other instances, individuals may have grown up in families where self-sacrifice was extolled as a virtue, where attending to the emotional needs of others at the expense of their own was anticipated. When a child is raised by an emotionally unstable parent, they might develop heightened empathy and the capability to discern their parent's mood. To maintain emotional safety and connection, their only recourse may have been to become an ever-giving presence to their parent while suppressing their own needs. Such children become adept at anticipating the needs of those around them to maintain harmony. As adults, they often gravitate towards caregiving professions, naturally expressing empathy and finding solace in self-sacrifice, despite the toll it exacts upon them. And then there are those who find themselves entangled in toxic relationships, despite having had relatively normal childhoods. These individuals may possess natural attributes such as high empathy, boundless optimism, and unyielding perseverance. Unfortunately, they encounter the misfortune of crossing paths with a manipulative individual displaying dangerous personality disorders. Even the most intelligent among us can fall prey to their tactics. Even therapists can be deceived. Understanding these different dynamics can shed light on the complexity of toxic relationships and help illuminate the paths to healing and recovery. Gaining freedom from a toxic relationship necessitates recognizing the importance of self-empathy and acknowledging that we do not deserve to endure cruelty. We must comprehend that suffering and self-sacrifice are not virtues, but instead detrimental to our well-being and overall life satisfaction. It is crucial to understand that blind optimism can prove detrimental when devoid of a foundation in reality, and we must prioritize observing actions over empty words. Lastly, we must come to terms with the fact that persisting in our futile efforts to repair a pathological individual will not yield positive results. Letting go, although challenging, often represents the embodiment of strength. However, breaking free from the clutches of a toxic relationship is no easy feat. If you find yourself struggling within an abusive dynamic, it is essential to seek help. Exiting such a situation requires time, careful planning, and a robust support system. The National Domestic Violence Hotline 800-799-7233 serves as an invaluable resource, offering support not solely to those facing physical violence, but also to individuals coping with various forms of abuse. Please prioritize your well-being and seek the necessary assistance. Take good care of yourself. Thank you.